Billy's advice to people for their personal problems and issues. Scott posted on Saturday, March 29th, 2003, 5:09 p.m.
Hello, Billy. Thanks very much for answering my previous questions. During these times on this planet, there is much stress and trauma which humans are exposed to on an increasing basis. If a person is exposed to a traumatic event, or is exposed to a very stressful event, which results in the person being affected in many ways, such as anxieties, fears, and many other related symptoms, what can a person do to recover, and can these symptoms be overcome? I understand this is a general question, but my main concern is the stress placed upon a person's psyche during out-of-the-ordinary experiences. Thanks again very much, Salome Scott Baxter.
Answer. Hi, Scott. A person should do the following. Asterisk. Find calmness. Asterisk. Free oneself. Break away, loosen, from the problem. Asterisk. Direct oneself to something else. Asterisk. Confront oneself with reality, as it really is. Asterisk. Unite with reality, in thoughts and feelings.
Joe_Joe posted on Thursday, October 06, 2005, 11:59 a.m.
Hello, Billy. What advice could you offer to someone who feels his life is filled with things he has to do and not with things he wants to do?
Answer. Study the spiritual teachings. Then you will see what you shall do.
Consolado posted on Saturday, December 31st, 2005, 4:22 p.m.
Hi, Billy. For the past year now, I've been trying to attempt to change my old problematic lifestyle to a new to be in line with your spirit teachings, but I've been having trouble trying to get myself motivated to get my life in order, so to speak, as well as trying to take more responsibility for myself and my actions too. There is nothing I would like more than to leave that old problematic lifestyle behind. Is there anything you can suggest that I can do to help me overcome these two areas of problems, responsibility, motivation, that I feel are holding me back, like as in exercises that I can do or whatever else that might be? Many thanks,
Answer. The same answer as the one just above applies here as well. First, you have to build up a strong motivation, and then build up the will to change what should be changed. It's important to realize that you are self-responsible for everything that you do, or don't do.
Drosalis80 posted on Saturday, January 07, 2006, 9:36 p.m.
Hello, Mr. Meyer. I'm new here in the FIGU and was told I should post my question to you here. Thanks for the opportunity. I've been studying the Meyer material for about 5 months, and I find it intriguing that he produces so much information. The main reason that I joined this group is because I have schizoaffective disorder, a mild form of schizophrenia, and nothing really seems to work. I'm on medications, and I have been like this for about 5 years. I can't work, and I can barely walk the streets because I have totally strange thoughts, like I feel I'm being followed. What, in your opinion, can I do about this? Should I take the drastic step of learning German and reading the books The Psyche or OM? I find the material fascinating, but I am more concerned with the spiritual aspects of the case. Has Billy ever cured anyone? Or is it really true that this material is totally and completely genuine and safe? And how can people apply it to their lives without going crazy? My mental state is in a precarious condition at the time, and I may not be able to handle the material. I really would like to know how. Thanks in advance.
Answer. Meditation would be dangerous for you. You must find a connection to reality and concentrate on the things of everyday life, and you should gather your thoughts in a clear manner. And of course you should take the medications, and you should try to neutralize your delusion, Juan.
Truth Seeker posted on Monday, April 24th, 2006, 1:51 a.m.
Greetings, Billy. Comment. Be cautious of any Earth human being who says they are infatuated or in love with Simyase. Question. About a year ago in an email discussion, Christian Frainer brought something interesting to my attention which I decided to think about for a while. For many years, about all my life, I always felt very strange, different, and very uncomfortable in the world today. Meaning most places, people, situations, and events such as thee pursuit of money, corporate jobs, workforce, religion, alcohol, smoking, short lifespans, the pressures to have children, etc., just never felt right with me. Yet somehow when I talk about this with people, they don't feel this, and they very much like their bars, cars, and beer, etc. A few people have said I'm very intelligent, yet so many others see me as useless or worthless because of my disabilities, etc. Then it occurred to me that for about the last 20 or so years, I've always been very different from people. Like when it comes to the compatibility of a love relationship with a woman, something always happens to either me or her. If I begin to love a woman, or if a woman begins to love me in return, something always happens to prevent me or her from being together, or a current situation prevents us from being together. And I see this happen over and over again for many years. This usually takes on the form of a physical illness, a disability issue, a family issue, a long inaccessible distance between us, a legal issue, an age issue, a money issue, an immigration issue, certain health risks, her pets, yes, I have allergies, or she finds a boyfriend after she meet me, or she is already moving to another country, or I just don't feel that deep love connection with some women who may also feel it for me. Note, I have had a harder time focusing my thoughts around certain women if I really feel attracted to them, and I always felt I was to be with a certain woman, whom I never got a chance to be with. Point being, it's not that Earth human beings are bad, it's that my personality and values tend to be greatly diverse to the majority of people on this world. This in itself is very strange to me, from which I can only conclude that my own level of spiritual evolution is greatly different to most people in this time period. I'm not claiming to be spiritually more evolved than people here, but I can sure feel a big difference in my incompatibilities with them in all walks of life, and for many years. I'd like to know why and how it is that I can be here living today if my level of spiritual evolution is so different from everyone else, which doesn't do me much good anyway. Peace in being, James Truthseeker.
Answer: you seem to have no clear attitude of mind. You don't know how to handle the things you mention. You are standing in the way of yourself, and therefore create Fügungen F Ungen German, equal sign effects, that arise from conscious or unconscious action, S. You seem to have unclear ideas, Vorstellungen, about your life. The failures or the dreadful state are the result of your attitude of mind, of hidden fears that may exist even if you are not aware of them. Of course, such an attitude of mind has its effects on your fellow human beings.
Sonic_01 posted on Thursday, April 27, 2006, 10:45 a.m.
Hi, Billy, I hope all is well. Thank you for answering our questions in such a direct and clear manner. I have a question for you this month which is causing me to think very hard, but I have come up with no solution. I have noticed that I exhibit certain wild and degenerate tendencies towards domination and aggressiveness and self-aggrandizement. I have noticed this indirectly, since I don't have enough inner vision to come to this conclusion on my own. I have noticed that the characteristics you most disdain in other people are the characteristics you most display yourself, and also directly, because I get mad really easily when someone wrongs me. I know this is perfectly natural since we live in a world with a low spiritual evolutionary level, and it is quite normal, but it still doesn't agree with me because I still feel bad afterwards about the damage I cause. I would like to be and feel at ease about everything in life, including the unpleasant ones. I catch glimpses of this momentary tranquility sometimes when I am on the bus or when I am observing a beautiful scene. My emotions are still not in full control and in harmony with my inner being. How do I achieve that sort of inner harmony and control so that my emotions won't be so wild and barbaric and chaotic inside? I guess I can answer this question myself. Meditation, reading the spiritual teachings, and self-analysis. But is there anything more we can do to elevate our spirit and bring peace and harmony back within our soul? Are there certain activities or things we can engage in to receive the desired effect? Thanks a bunch for all your answers.
Answer: no, there are no other ways. You mentioned correctly. Meditation, reading the spiritual teachings, self-analysis. Besides, you have to control your thoughts and feelings, and you have to learn, learn and learn, and this brings about changes in development.
Sonic_01 posted on Saturday, July 22nd, 2006, 1:47 p.m.
Hello, Billy. I hope all is well with you and those you care about. I have a question for you for this round, and it deals with fear. If I am the unfortunate victim, although I know that these things are self-created torture chambers, of a completely paralyzing and agonizing fear, for example, of the police, how am I to overcome it? I know this is stupid, but I feel they're out to get me, and this has just degenerated itself into a paralyzing phobia. I've never committed any crimes, and I am a fairly decent, well-informed, law-abiding citizen. Yet I just have this paralyzing fear of them. How safe are we if we know the secrets of the government? Would they hurt us or harass us if we join FIGU and decide to help out in the mission as I would like to? BTW. I live in a very major North American city that has seen a major increase in police presence due to, I think, a feared terrorist plot. To tell the truth, I find their increased numbers and powers frightening. Thanks in advance.
Answer. The reason for your fear lies in experiences of your past in this your present life, even if you probably don't remember those experiences. You have to concern yourself with reality and the comprehensive reality Gesamtwirklichkeit, and to recognize, understand, and accept them. You have to recognize, perceive the fact of reality. Fact is, that if you are not guilty of a crime, you don't have to fear to be put into prison. You will have to see the facts and to realize them in logic. If you want to help FIGU, you are to do so according to your own decision and your wishes. Of course, we are glad about all people who are helping us.
DSP0123, posted September 2007.
I've read Ptah's comments on our nutrition and zinc intake. I have a 13-year-old daughter that has been diagnosed as autistic. I have her on a very healthy natural diet, no preservatives, additives, etc., and careful with her zinc intake and other vitamins. This has helped, but is there more I can do for her? Thank you so much.
Answer. Perhaps you may find a specialized school where trained persons are skilled to enable some improvement and loosening for in your daughter.
Bianca posted March 2009.
Salome Billy. As you know, the world around us feels gloomy, people are cold, and creation Mother Earth is responding with a vengeance. Many, many life situations are clearly depressing on so many levels and still no end in sight. It is not easy trying to maintain a neutral, positive outlook when people every day talk of uncertainties and over the airwaves all is doom and gloom. Still, I am trying very hard every day with affirmations to reject the negativities and its hard work, and I do feel the benefits, which is encouraging naturally. And still, those who understand the silent revolution of truth. The personal journey is nonetheless a long, unending, and arduous road with mountains and valleys and the unknown. I feel sometimes like I am carrying boulders on my shoulders but going nowhere. Can you please advise us of some positive aspects for daily life to help ease the mental burden? Some hopeful, optimistic occurrences that may lay just around the corner so that hopefully the flame of hope won't blow in the wind? Salome Bianca.
Answer. You see, even if there is much evil and bad things around on our planet, it is also a fact that much good is also happening and visible each day. You should try to see the good in things that are positive and an aid to people.
Note by CF. Billy mentioned his new book, Goddess One God Delusion, in which he is scolding religion, etc., but in which he is also showing ways to overcome religious delusion, etc., and how to lead a life free of the restrictions and enslavement of religions and sectarianism, etc.
Stevio, posted July 2009.
Hi, Billy. I wish the best for you and your loved ones, and I wanted to know that I am very, very, very grateful with all my Spreadle love for you, guidances and effort for mankind. I mean it. I have a question about love. Since I was born, people called me blessed because I was a premature child. I was happy, kind, nice, smart, had wisdom. I loved everything in my life and all that I encounter, and felt great love. I loved everything just as I loved myself. This is what I wanted, felt. When I was 12 years old at the year 2000, I was asleep, and when I woke up, I seen two females on the side of me. They was beautiful, and I felt very, very good being in their presence. But then one asked me a question, and I kind of felt offended. Then I went back to sleep and woke up and went to talk to my family about the females, but they said no one came for you. Then I got to thinking that's silly. My question: why do a person as myself think about helping others, loving other and caring for others, and thinking as positive as I can for others? I do people like me want to do that? Even if someone hurt me, I wash it up and still trying to be nice. I feel like doing this as a person in my emotions and for my mind, depending on my environment also. Why do I like science so much? I get a strong vibe when I look at the stars, when I look at nature, and when I love myself and others as myself. And also when I look at astrology, I get as loving vibe also. Why is this? As I do this, no one give it back to me. Just hurt me more and more and want to control me and my environment. Turn around on me, I got depressed. And it was getting harder for me to concentration not as normal, and I start telling people I'm not stupid, I'm just depressed. That's what I tell people. I hate the fact of living in a society of money, but as I keep telling myself, life ain't gonna change for me. I gotta do something about it. But all I feel like doing is caring, helping, and letting everyone know that they is as special as I am. I don't care for money, just loving, just good. Just positive. That's all is one and one is all. And most of all, I am one. In this sense of development, is it possible that you can tell my sprital development example, you sprit old sprit? I'm new here, so I hope I tried to be as specific as I can. Thank you for all your concern. I hope you understand my words. I leave it with much, much love and respect. Edward Albert Meyer. Salome.
Answer: basically, you are doing everything for yourself, just as everyone else does, no exception. It seems that you have expectations towards your fellow human beings. What has been explained to Sebastian above does also matter to you. Put your first priority to your own consciousness-related stability, soundness, and balance. Besides, it is not important to know whether a person has an old or new spirit form. What's important is to try thinking, feeling, and acting in line with the creational laws and recommendations.
New initiation posted August 2009.
Dear Billy, more and more as I live each day, I realize just how important concentration is, yet it's one of the hardest things to do. For example, due to circumstances from earlier childhood, unbeknownst to me until recently, the traumatic experiences somehow must have triggered certain psychological and psychical reaction in the form of dissociation from reality, rumination, unfocusedness, dwelling within the sphere of my own mind, and the culmination of bad thought habits which caused childhood depression, anxiety disorder, and almost uncontrollable fear. Response generalized towards all people, which over time have become so ingrained into the very fabric of the consciousness that certain images and triggers would elicit an overwhelming oppressive response, and therefore it having power over the being part of the self. It's been a handicap in my life, and I am slowly unlearning this and trying to replace it with the understanding of reality as it is. But I still can't understand how this block or force, so to speak, turns itself against itself as if compartmentalized and fractured, having its own distinct part apart from each other, and the natural unity of the whole self, somehow being dispersed with some parts having been arrested from the oppressive forces arising from within. It's almost as if it's an extreme form of self-censure, but at the same time a denial or rejection of a part of oneself that one has grown to be ashamed of in a perpetual tug-of-war between itself. I mistakenly thought that it may have been an entity of some sort that you were referring to in one of your articles, but as there is more to the consciousness and the human psyche than what is known in the conventional schools of abnormal psychology, would you be able to expound on what the nature of this force created by certain conflicting but unresolved thoughts and feelings is that culminates in such manifestations inside the human being? Thank you for your compassion and understanding, Matt Lee.
Answer: there are countless possibilities for the cause of your condition. It is possible that you recognized, perceived, and understood things falsely. You will have to try to find the origin of your problem condition and analyze it, and have to realize your false, erroneous thinking. You can try to live according to the creational laws and recommendations, and to fulfill them, so you to make progress in your life, and your psychic and consciousness-related aspects.
Sonic_01 posted September 2009.
Hi, Billy. I hope all is well with you and your health. I would like to ask you a question regarding paranoid schizophrenia. This is an illness which I've been fighting for about 10 years now. I am in my late 20s. I developed this illness because of my involvement in the Christian faith in my late teens. It involved my fear of outside forces punishing me for sins I had committed. And since I had committed all these sins, I had or have low self-esteem. So I'm always watchful for things in the outside world which would determine my fate, such as police watching me, or numbers I see or whatever. This backwards link to the outside world is causing me a lot of strife. I would really like to be a person that determines my own fate despite what I see in the outside world. But it's this fear of the consequences of my actions that keeps me frozen in fear, and I don't react to anything going on in my life. Like I said, I would like to be a person that determines my own fate, but to get to that point in my development and overcome my fear, what is the departure point or starting thought that I should start out with if I were to overcome my fear? Thanks and take care. Sonic.
Answer: you should try to free yourself from the religious nonsense and delusion. This is really hard work. Note, there is no such thing as a sin. The help of a non-religious psychiatrist may be helpful, but they are hard to find, depending on the country you live in. Generally, it can be said that people who were deeply religious in their actual life have great problems to free themselves from the bounds of religious thinking and feeling. Relapses are a frequent occurrence, unfortunately.
Bianca posted December 2009.
Salome Billy, taking into consideration that I do not know German and so consequently am incredibly disadvantaged because I am unable to learn the Geistlehre, how can I learn otherwise to correct the negative imprinted ways of my thinking and behavior in my psyche since my childhood? What must I do in order to recognize the negative and destructive characteristics and defects that I have? And in what way the negative thoughts and feelings and actions can be released? How do I begin to change it all? I do practice the Pentra meditation, I do the 12 affirmations and some other affirmations as well, but I feel like something is holding me back. Feeling happy is even a chore. Why? Herzlichen Dank, Salome Bianca.
Answer: direct your thoughts to the truth and reality, that is to say to everyday life. Learn to act correctly. If negative things from the past arise, look at them and then let them pass. Try to live with your thoughts in the present and not in the past. You cannot change things of the past, but you can now determine your future. Besides, even if you could read the Geistlehre in German, you would still face the same problems. Don't let your head hang low. Perseverance is required.
Note by CF: don't try too hard, lean back but stick at it. You cannot change all, but slowly just one thing after another. Be patient, be attentive, and don't have high expectations.
Sonic_01 posted January 2010.
Hi, Billy. I wanted to ask if there were certain kinds of depression where a person doesn't feel sad, and what is the best way of learning the German language. For example, I have been in a state of lethargy for the past 3 months, where I don't want to go out or take a shower only if I have to go out, or get out of bed or do any kind of work. For example, in the last 3 months I have only gone out about 10 or 11 times and I don't feel any kind of sadness. I am unemployed. I don't feel anything is wrong, but obviously this kind of lifestyle is not beneficial for me. I don't feel my mind weakening or any other kind of health problem. I could be learning German, but my concentration is too low. And in the article, Meditation, Concentration, and Sleep, it states that this kind of lifestyle is totally against the spiritual teaching, and that it would be hard to train the mind if I lived this way. My question is, am I depressed? I don't think so. Just lazy. What can I do to train my mind to have the type of concentration it needs to be able to learn German, for example? And what would be the best way to learn German? The Plejarans have a self-hypnosis device. I was wondering if there was anything similar on Earth. I really want to learn German instead of just wasting away my life. Thank you, Billy, for all your sacrifices and misfortunes that you never gave up on the mission. Sonic_01.
Answer. It looks like you are in a phase of depression in combination with laziness. Besides, you also seem to lack motivation and will. It obviously looks like you should set other priorities in your life than learning German, at least for the time being.
Note by CF. Thinking or even considering to use self-hypnosis in your situation is kind of an indication that laziness seems to be a part of your present life. I doubt that learning German should be the first challenge to begin with. Start by bringing a structure into your life, which means leaving bed early and regularly in the morning, leaving the house for regular walks into nature, searching for a job, tending your personal hygiene, etc. Learning German is hard work and needs perseverance, something you don't appear to be ready for right now.
Shaban_1190 posted May 2010.
Dear Edward, thank you for your answer. I hope you're in good health, but you still didn't answer whether you got my second letter that I sent to you on February. I was just hoping for a reply just like last time. I'm sorry if I'm being rude. For a long time now, I have had the urge to come over to the SSSC to live, learn, and work so that I can correct my thinking, because the longer I stay here in America, the more I feel like I'm going to lose my own sanity. There are so many times when I thought about suicide, or even worse, committing violent crimes. And that is really not in my nature. I just don't know what to do. Should I come over there so that I can find some peace and work things out within myself? Salome.
Answer. You are on a wrong track thinking. It's absolutely possible to live in America and keep one's sanity as well as find peace. It's all a matter of one's thinking and attitude, etc. Besides, you cannot live or work at the SSSC. You have a false impression of what we are doing here, or about the terms to live in Switzerland.
BTW. Billy doesn't remember a second letter, but will ask the core group members who are responsible for our English correspondence.
Marcella posted May 2010.
Dear Billy and Christian, 10 years ago, when I first came to the USA, I was very tired and overwhelmed by seeing a different place. I soon started to have random silly thoughts. I would have sudden silly thoughts about my family. As soon as I rested, these thoughts disappear, and I was back to normal. Just a few years ago, I was once again under a very stressful situation, and I soon started to have these stupid thoughts about everything. I couldn't control these thoughts until I found the TJ and later Figu. This discovery brought a new meaning to life, and amazingly, I got a better control of these unintentional negative thoughts. I consider myself a very centered person who hardly kill flies, but as I am trying to learn how to meditate and learn the spiritual teachings, these random negative thoughts are coming back. I have stopped the meditation and I even stopped reading the teachings until I can get a hold of this situation, but now I really want to continue. Billy, how can I control these random, unintentional thoughts that have nothing to do with who I am? Or can you recommend me one of your books that will help me? Very thankful, Marcella.
Answer. You have two choices. 1. You have to chase away the silly thoughts by saying to them, "Hau ab, beat it," or "Verschwinde," get away, etc. Or 2. To replace the silly thoughts by doing a slight and simple meditation, for example, counting numbers, etc. You must avoid getting into stress. Don't try to force your development evolution. Have a rest often, and occupy yourself with daily life. It is possible that unconscious religious thoughts and guilty feelings are triggering the stressful effects, the so-called Widersacherkräfte, antagonistic forces, that you are producing within yourself, but which are sackfremd. Note by CF, =, which are not in line with the things you want to do achieve.
Sonic_01 posted July 2010.
Hi, Billy and Christian. Thank you for answering my previous question. This month I have a different question in my mind which I wish to ask. I currently feel completely stagnated on my way in life. I currently live with my parents. I have no job. I can't speak German, and learning German feels so overwhelming that I cannot begin to muster the energy to learn it. The meditations are also feeling like they are overwhelming to me. I want to get back on track, but I don't know where to start or where I'll get the energy to start. What do you suggest I do? This is all feeling very complicated for me. Thank you. Salome Sonic_01.
Answer. Stop your whiny pubertal behavior and try to reach adulthood. Make yourself independent.
Stevio posted November 2010.
Hi, Billy. Hope you're feeling well. I thank you for all your questions and all your love. I'm 22. I have no car, no job, no money. And sometimes I think about suicide. I have strong emotions. My mind tell me to do something like get a car, get some money, get your own place, quit being lazy, stop thinking about suicide, stop thinking about this and that, not doing you any good, make yourself independent. You can do it, Stevio. This is what my mind tells me, plus even more. While my emotions tell me to do something else. Like, why should I care? Just kill yourself and it's all over with. My emotions affect the way I think, but then there's something deep in my mind tells me it's all gonna be okay. I know what I'm doing, my mind always telling me this and that, but most times I don't listen. I know what I'm doing and aware of it. I'm not here to complain about my problems. I hate doing that. I hate complaining about problems. I do like sharing my problems. I like telling people they not the only ones. It seems to make them happy and me too. One thing my mind tell me to do is quit thinking and start acting. I'm really messed up in the head. I think so, then I think I'm not thinking right. I have a lot of people tell me I'm good at computers and I'm smart and intelligent and a good person. Sorry for the bad spelling. To many people told me this, even people that I just meet. I don't know, they say, they see it in me, they say. Have not got in a fight in years. A real one, don't like to fight. When I do, I cry. I want to say more, but seems like I said a lot. My question is, what do we think about all this? I know suicide happen a sprit life.
Answer. Get a grip on yourself and immediately start leading a normal and decent life by directing your thinking into a neutral, positive direction.
Note by CF. Lamenting and complaining about one's fate and about not wanting to lament instead of taking one's life into one's hand isn't really intelligent.
Marcella posted August 2011.
Dear Billy and Christian, first I wanted to thank you for opening the doors of your home, the SSSC, for us. Not only I had fun working and loved seeing such beautiful place, but I also enjoyed the company of great human beings, and I learned a lot, which is the most important for me. I live 88 kilometers from San Francisco, California, and my city is at an elevation of 35 meters above the sea level. Lately, I was thinking about the earthquake in San Francisco that will come in our near future. I would like to move to a safer place and save my life and my family's. However, my husband is not convinced of this information, and he thinks that we should stay within this area because our jobs and our entire life is here. I have tried to tell him that the San Andreas Fault is around my city and that there will be a tsunami as well, so this area is extremely dangerous. Even if we survive, everything might be destroyed. My question is, should I keep convincing him of the imminent disaster, or at some should I part ways on my own and save my life and my daughter Muit life? I don't want to get divorced or leave him. I want to save my life, and in doing so, my family's life. Very grateful, Marcella Salome Marcella.
Answer. This is entirely your decision because you have to live with the result. Actually, your husband must become reasonable by himself. This a private issue.
Zanderson posted July 2012.
Hello, Mr. Meyer. I have a question regarding some changes I've noticed. What basically happened is that I've been experiencing some strange headaches. Just to be clear, I'm not asking for medical advice, but think you might be able to share some words of wisdom due to their strange occurrences. As I said, these headaches are strange in that they always centralized in the mid-brain region of the crown of my head. Realizing that my pineal gland is located here, I've started to think that this is a possible source for these headaches. The headaches are different from others, not just in their location of occurrence, but also how they feel. It's like having your neurons pulled on while on fire, That's the best I can describe it. As with other headaches, they occur when I'm stressed, etc., but also by just hearing certain music or been around certain individuals. These include person that I've grown up with and never previously had such experience. I also feel very taxed and drained afterwards by just engaging in a conversation with such persons. A common trait I've realized is that these persons tend to think illogically smart but illogical. My own thinking is that due to my efforts whenever possible in developing in the spiritual truth, mediating, reading, and processing yours and Figu's info, my psyche is becoming more stable and my pineal gland more active. Consequently, it's becoming overbearing been around persons who are of an opposite persuasion due to the improving perceptiveness of my pineal gland, I think. This change has recently occurred, as I said before. I've actually noticed it since January or thereabout. Nothing has occurred out of the norm except my taking on the spiritual teachings and an odd surfacing of Christian thoughts and music one after another that I tend to find myself signing unnoticeable this after about a decade of not going to church or subscribing to the Christian religion. A solution I've arrived at is to relocate to a remote region away from such persons, which I'm not inclined to do anymore, but if I must, well, or to create a copper-plated hat since copper should help reduce thoughts and other oscillation from reaching my pineal gland. I don't want to make this any longer, so I'll stop here. But what do you think of this whole situation and possible solutions? Peace and good health to you, S. Anderson.
Answer: your pineal gland has nothing to do with this. Perhaps your efforts of trying to develop yourself are exaggerated and are producing unnecessary tension, etc. Probably you are trying too hard over exertion. In general, people with continuously occurring headaches should go to a physician and let their intestines bowels be checked.
Note by CF. Relax and don't try to force yourself into a desired progress which is only a fake progress. Your thoughts of creating a copper-plated hat are leading you into an unhealthy direction. Stop worrying about your pineal gland, because you cannot influence it anyway and surely not in this lifetime. Your goal should be to become capable again to be together meet with all kinds of people and still keep up your inner balance and stability. If you are a vegetarian or vegan, stop being one. It may probably be helpful.
Prunk posted on Saturday, January 25th, 2014, 11:04 a.m.
Hello, Billy. Thank you for answering questions. During the time this section opens for asking questions, I never seem to have any questions that really bother me. After this section closes, problems appear that I would like to ask questions about. So I start rereading Might of the Thoughts Macht der Gedanken, and I start to understand and have an answer for my problem, and by the time this section opens again, I have no more burning questions to ask. This happens over and over again and prevents me from asking any relevant questions on this forum. What should I do?
Answer: continuing in the same way as until now.
Note by CF. Why should it be a problem if when you are capable of answering relevant questions by yourself?
Stevio posted on Sunday, March 23rd, 2014, 3:17 p.m.
Thanks for answering my last question. Don't let you being influenced by an IQ number because the IQ doesn't give testimony of a person's consciousness-based development evolution. The mental state you are in is an entirely psychological process, Vorgang. You should try to escape from your present world of negative thoughts and feelings. Don't feed your anxiety, your angst, and control your thoughts, which means that you should be aware of what you are thinking and to direct your thoughts to good and neutral factors. For example, to nature, etc., and don't let yourself be influenced and put down by the bad things that are happening in the world as informed by newspapers, television, etc. Here's my question. How am I supposed to think about this world then in order to overcome my personal problems? To think neutral positive meaning be not to good or to bad, but in balance with both. You said to be fair in the goblet of truth many times over. It seemed the best way to live a good life in this world is to be selfish, but to be honest, I'm not that type of person. I want to live an honest life, but even that is hard. I find living in this world is not for me. Even with yourself. 'Cause what happened to you, You shut yourself from the outside world, and really, I don't blame you. And you said that the P have to renew your feelings over and over so you don't go crazy and so-so. Even you as a human being, it was hard, and also me. But how do you deal with it? You're a strong man, I have to say. But what's your secret? With me, I'm utterly hopless, like the fundamental of hoplessness, like I care not for good or wrong, like I'm dead inside. I try many things, but can seem to get my head out of the shadows. I think why really, and I'm seeing a doctor, and I do feel better this year. Than I did last year, a lot better. I was diagnosed with major depression as a child. I was seeing ghosts at a child. I witness emotional abuse. How am I supposed to think natural positive in this world we live in?
Answer. You should consciously concern yourself with something which brings you some progress. That is to say, a concrete result. For example, a meaningful, sensible hobby, etc. Something which lifts your thoughts away from your negative feelings, etc., and fills your thoughts with neutral topics, experiences.